I think about, man, I have to perform songs every single night or every other night.
At 39, Bruno Mars finally breaks his silence. The truth behind the rumors. Part 1. For years, Bruno Mars has been one of the most mysterious superstars in music. Millions of fans know the dazzling performer who commands sold-out arenas, wins Grammy Awards, and delivers hit after hit with effortless charisma. But away from the stage lights, Bruno has always guarded his private life. Unlike many celebrities, he rarely gives lengthy interviews about his personal struggles. Instead, he lets the music speak for him. That silence has created endless speculation. Every few months, a new rumor seems to spread across social media. Some claim he is disappearing from the spotlight. Others question his relationships, his finances, or his future in music. Yet the truth is often far different from the stories that dominate headlines. At 39, Bruno Mars has reached a point where his remarkable journey speaks louder than any rumor. Behind every chart-topping song is a lifetime of sacrifice, determination, and resilience that most fans have never fully understood. Long before the world knew him as Bruno Mars, he was born Peter Gene Hernandez on October 8, 1985, in Honolulu, Hawaii. Music wasn't simply part of his childhood. It surrounded him every single day. His father loved classic rock and Latin music, while his mother was an accomplished singer and dancer who performed hula and traditional Hawaiian music. Their home was filled with melodies from Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Little Richard, James Brown, Prince, and countless other legendary performers. For young Peter, these weren't just famous artists. They were teachers whose performances he studied carefully, even before he fully understood what it meant to become an entertainer himself. His nickname, Bruno, came from his father, who thought the young boy resembled professional wrestler Bruno Sammartino because of his sturdy build as a toddler. The nickname stayed with him throughout childhood, becoming part of his identity long before the world would know him as Bruno Mars. Years later, when it came time to create a stage name, he added Mars because he wanted something memorable and slightly otherworldly. He once joked that people often told him he seemed like he was out of this world, so Mars felt like the perfect fit. Even before kindergarten, Bruno was already performing in front of live audiences. While other children spent weekends playing games or watching cartoons, he was entertaining tourists in Hawaii with his family's musical revue. Night after night, he dressed as Elvis Presley, complete with flashy costumes, slick back hair, and energetic dance moves. Audiences were amazed that someone so young could imitate the king of rock and roll with such confidence. Soon, local newspapers began writing about the talented child performer who seemed completely fearless on stage. Those performances weren't occasional appearances. They became a routine that shaped Bruno's entire childhood. While many children learn confidence through school activities or sports, Bruno learned it under bright stage lights. Every show taught him another lesson about entertaining an audience, reading a crowd, and delivering a performance regardless of how tired he might feel. Years later, fans would wonder how he made singing and dancing at the same time appear so effortless. The answer wasn't natural talent alone. It was years of practice that began almost as soon as he could walk. His remarkable ability eventually attracted national attention. Television producers invited him to appear on programs featuring extraordinary young performers. One appearance introduced him to viewers across America as a tiny Elvis impersonator whose stage presence seemed unbelievable for his age. Hollywood also took notice, leading to a small acting role in the 1992 comedy Honeymoon in Vegas. Although his screen time was brief, the experience gave him an early glimpse into the entertainment industry beyond Hawaii. Despite those exciting opportunities, childhood wasn't always glamorous. Performing constantly required discipline and sacrifice. While other children enjoyed carefree weekends, Bruno often spent evenings rehearsing songs, learning choreography, and traveling to performances. The stage became his classroom, teaching lessons that no school could provide. He learned professionalism long before most people had their first job. Everything changed when his parents separated during his teenage years. The family dynamic that had supported their musical performances suddenly disappeared. Financial stability became uncertain, and life grew significantly more difficult. Bruno has spoken openly about how challenging those years were, recalling periods when money was scarce and his family struggled to make ends meet. The The transition from a steady performing schedule to financial hardship left a lasting impression on him. Those experiences taught him that success could never be taken for granted. Fame might come and go, but determination had to remain constant. Instead of allowing difficult circumstances to discourage him, Bruno poured even more energy into music. He practiced instruments, improved his songwriting, and studied the artists he admired most. Every setback became motivation to work harder. By the time he graduated from high school, Bruno had already made one of the biggest decisions of his life. Hawaii had given him unforgettable experiences and a strong musical foundation, but he knew that achieving his biggest dreams would require leaving home. Like countless aspiring musicians before him, he set his sights on Los Angeles, the heart of the American music industry. Moving to Los Angeles wasn't glamorous. He arrived with enormous ambition but very little security. He didn't have instant fame waiting for him. He didn't have a mansion, expensive cars, or celebrity friends. Instead, he faced the same challenges confronting thousands of hopeful artists who moved to the city every year. Record labels rejected demos. Industry executives struggled to decide how to market him. Some thought he should focus on Latin music because of his surname. Others weren't sure where he fit commercially. Rather than changing himself to satisfy every opinion, Bruno remained committed to finding his own artistic identity. The early years tested his patience. Success didn't arrive overnight. He attended meetings that led nowhere and heard promises that never materialized. Like many young musicians, he learned that talent alone was enough. Persistence mattered just as much. Every rejection became another reminder that the entertainment industry rewards resilience as much as creativity. Instead of giving up, Bruno shifted his focus towards songwriting and music production. Alongside talented collaborators Philip Lawrence and Ari Levine, he formed a creative team that would eventually become known throughout the music industry for crafting memorable pop songs. Before the world recognized Bruno as a superstar performer, many artists were already singing songs he helped write. Their breakthrough came gradually. Bruno contributed to successful tracks for other performers, proving that his musical instincts extended far beyond singing. Industry professionals began noticing his gift for writing irresistible melodies and unforgettable choruses. His reputation grew behind the scenes, even if casual listeners still didn't know his name. One of the biggest turning points came through collaborations that showcased both his songwriting and his vocals. As more hit songs climbed the charts, record executives finally realized they weren't simply dealing with another songwriter. They had discovered an artist capable of becoming a global star himself. Still, nothing was guaranteed. Every opportunity carried enormous pressure. Bruno understood that many talented musicians received one chance but never another. When the moment finally arrived to release his own music, years of preparation would be put to the ultimate test. That opportunity came in 2010 with the release of Just the Way You Are. The song immediately connected with listeners around the world. Its heartfelt lyrics, smooth vocals, and timeless melody helped it climb international charts, introducing Bruno Mars as more than a songwriter. He had become one of pop music's most exciting new voices. The success continued almost immediately. Songs like Grenade demonstrated his emotional range, while later releases revealed his ability to move effortlessly between pop, soul, funk, rock, reggae, and R&B. Critics praise his versatility, and audiences embrace an artist who seemed comfortable honoring musical legends while creating a sound entirely his own. What many people didn't realize was that every seemingly effortless performance rested upon decades of relentless preparation. The little boy performing Elvis songs in Hawaii had evolved into one of the world's most complete entertainers. His confidence wasn't manufactured by fame. It had been built through years of experience, discipline, and overcoming adversity. As Bruno's career accelerated, sold-out tours, platinum albums, and Grammy Awards followed. Yet alongside the success came a new challenge that every global superstar eventually faces: intense public scrutiny. The bigger his career became, the more curious the public grew about every aspect of his life. Fans wanted to know who he was dating, how he lived, and what happened when the cameras stopped rolling. Unfortunately, genuine curiosity was often accompanied by speculation, gossip, and rumors that spread across the internet faster than facts. That would become one of the defining challenges of Bruno Mars' career, not performing for millions of fans, but protecting his privacy while living under one of the brightest spotlights in the entertainment industry. At 39, Bruno Mars finally breaks his silence. The truth behind the rumors. Part 2. As Bruno Mars became one of the biggest names in modern music, the spotlight grew brighter than ever before. Every new album became a global event. Every public appearance generated headlines, and every period of silence sparked fresh speculation online. In today's social media age, celebrities are expected to share every detail of their lives, but Bruno has consistently chosen a different path. He has always preferred to let his work speak for itself. That decision has earned him respect from many fans, but has also created an environment where rumors often fill the silence. Unlike artists who live stream their daily routines or constantly update followers about their personal lives, Bruno rarely comments on gossip. Months can pass without him posting anything online. When he does appear, it is usually because of a new song, a concert, or a professional project. To some people, that privacy seems mysterious. To Bruno, it simply appears to be the life he has always wanted, a life where music remains a focus instead of constant public attention. His dedication to perfection is another reason he disappears for long stretches of time. Friends and collaborators have described him as someone who refuses to release music until every detail meets his incredibly high standards. Hours can be spent adjusting a single vocal harmony. Entire arrangements may be rewritten if they don't feel exactly right. That meticulous approach explains why there are often several years between Bruno Mars albums. While fans may wonder where he has gone, he is usually in the studio refining songs that may not be heard for months or even years. That relentless pursuit of quality paid off again in 2012 with Unorthodox Jukebox. Instead of repeating the formula that had already made him famous, Bruno experimented with different genres, blending pop, rock, reggae, soul, and funk into one ambitious project. The gamble worked. Songs such as Locked Out of Heaven, Treasure, and When I Was Your Man became worldwide hits, proving that he was more than a pop singer. He was becoming one of the most versatile performers of his generation. When I Was Your Man especially captured listeners because of its emotional honesty. Many fans immediately wondered whether the lyrics reflected Bruno's personal experiences. He has acknowledged that the song came from a place of vulnerability, but he has never encouraged people to treat it as a literal autobiography. Like many gifted songwriters, Bruno draws inspiration from emotions, observations, and imagination, allowing listeners to connect with the music in their own way. His career reached another unforgettable milestone when he performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. Standing in front of one of the largest television audiences in the world is a moment that defines many artists' careers. Bruno approached it with remarkable confidence, delivering a performance that showcased not only his powerful voice, but also the musicianship of his entire band. Critics praised the energy, precision, and authenticity of the show, while millions of viewers discovered why fellow musicians often describe Bruno as one of the greatest live entertainers working today. Then came another career-changing moment through a collaboration that almost never happened. Producer Mark Ronson had been developing a funky track inspired by classic rhythm and blues. Bruno joined the project, bringing his unmistakable vocals and creative instincts. The result was Uptown Funk, a song that became a worldwide phenomenon. It dominated charts, broke streaming records, and remained popular long after its initial release. More importantly, it reminded audiences that timeless musical influences could still feel fresh when presented with originality and passion. Success continued with 24K Magic, an album that celebrated the sounds of the 1980s and 1990s while giving them a modern twist. Rather than chasing the latest trends, Bruno leaned into the music that had inspired him as a child. Rich harmonies, live instruments, and infectious grooves became the album's signature. Critics applauded his willingness to embrace musicianship at a time when electronic production dominated popular music. The album's triumph reached its peak at the Grammy Awards, where 24K Magic won some of the night's most prestigious honors. For Bruno, the recognition represented far more than trophies. It validated years of hard work, endless rehearsals, and a commitment to excellence that began during his childhood performances in Hawaii. Yet while his professional achievements continued to grow, Bruno remained determined to keep his personal relationships largely out of public view. For many years, he maintained a long-term relationship with model and actress Jessica Caban. The couple rarely sought publicity and made relatively few red carpet appearances together. Instead of sharing every milestone online, they chose a quieter approach that contrasted sharply with many celebrity relationships. That privacy eventually fueled speculation. Whenever the couple was seen less frequently together, rumors quickly appeared claiming they had separated or were facing serious problems. In reality, neither Bruno nor Jessica publicly confirmed many of the stories that circulated online. Like countless public figures, they became subjects of internet speculation simply because they preferred not to discuss every aspect of their private lives. Perhaps the biggest rumor surrounding Bruno Mars emerged in 2024, when reports began circulating that he had accumulated enormous gambling debts connected to his Las Vegas residency. The story spread rapidly across social media, with some posts claiming he owed tens of millions of dollars. Because Bruno had openly joked in the past about enjoying casino games, many people accepted the rumors without questioning whether reliable evidence existed. However, those claims were publicly denied. MGM Resorts, the company hosting Bruno's Las Vegas performances, issued a statement rejecting reports that he owed the company gambling debts. The organization described its relationship with Bruno as a successful partnership and emphasized that the rumors were inaccurate. Rather than responding with anger, Bruno later addressed the speculation in his characteristic style, through humor. During live performances and social media posts, he joked about the rumors, turning internet gossip into a running joke that delighted audiences. His response revealed something important about his personality. Instead of allowing unverified stories to define him, Bruno chose laughter over outrage. That approach reflected the confidence of someone who understood that not every rumor deserved a serious response. In an era where online speculation often grows faster than facts, maintaining perspective may be one of the most valuable skills a celebrity can possess. Another reason Bruno has remained relevant for so many years is his refusal to become creatively stagnant. Rather than releasing music simply to stay visible, he waits until inspiration truly strikes. That philosophy became clear with the formation of Silk Sonic, his collaboration with Anderson .Paak. Together, the two artists created music inspired by the soul, funk, and R&B classics they both admired growing up. Their debut album, An Evening with Silk Sonic, felt like a celebration of vintage musicianship. Rich harmonies, live instrumentation, and playful performances reminded listeners of an earlier era while still sounding unmistakably modern. The lead single, Leave the Door Open, quickly became one of the biggest songs of the year, earning widespread critical acclaim and multiple Grammy Awards. For Bruno, Silk Sonic wasn't simply another commercial project. It represented fulfillment of a lifelong love for classic soul music. Every performance reflected the joy of musicians creating songs they genuinely loved rather than chasing trends or algorithms. Audiences responded enthusiastically, proving that authenticity still resonates in today's music industry. As Bruno entered his late 30s, his influence extended beyond hit records. Younger artists increasingly cited him as an inspiration, praising his vocal ability, stage presence, songwriting, and commitment to live performance. In an era where technology can often compensate for limited musicianship, Bruno continued to demonstrate the value of mastering every aspect of the craft. His concerts remain among the most celebrated in the world because they combine exceptional vocals, energetic choreography, live instrumentation, and genuine audience connection. Fans don't simply attend a Bruno Mars concert expecting to hear popular songs. They expect an unforgettable show. Meeting those expectations night after night requires extraordinary discipline, preparation, and professionalism. Looking back his journey, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The rumors that periodically surround Bruno Mars may generate temporary headlines, but they are ultimately small chapters in a much larger story. The real story is about a boy from Hawaii who transformed childhood performances into an international career through relentless hard work, creativity, and resilience. It is about someone who faced rejection, uncertainty, and criticism, yet refused to abandon his vision. At 39, Bruno Mars doesn't need dramatic confessions or sensational headlines to prove who he is. His music, performances, and career speak more powerfully than internet speculation ever could. While rumors may continue to appear, they rarely survive as long as timeless songs. Perhaps that is Bruno's greatest achievement of all. In an age obsessed with constant attention, He has shown that genuine artistry can outlast gossip. Long after trending topics disappear and viral stories are forgotten, the music remains. And for Bruno Mars, that has always been what mattered most.